I get the feeling Deadeye's signed up to be a rebel, so he could have a roost to rule. Heck, he's no better than a lord. In some ways, he's even worse.
I know. How could he use explosives on his own people?
And yet, despite the toll of his actions, none of the Danans we've seen seem to question his assumed authority in the least. If anything, they may well consider him a hero, which would say a great deal toward how deeply they resented the Renans here.
Still, I don't think this is as simple as saying the good guys won out over the bad ones.
Yeah, I don't either. Deadeye might have managed to drive the Renans out of Niaz, but that doesn't make the way he did it okay. No matter which way you look at it.
A victory that's earned by throwing away the lives of his own people? No, that isn't a victory at all. I can understand that the Danans here are standing up against their oppression, but that doesn't mean they have to humiliate all Renans just to settle the score.
I'm perfectly able to stand up for myself, Alphen. Besides, I'm used to it by...
But you shouldn't have to be, Shion. It's just... What I mean to say is, when you've been a slave for so long, it's easy to accept that's how it should be because it's all you've ever known. Constantly being belittled is no different. I don't think that's fair. For me or for you.
I just don't know, man.
Don't know what?
Deadeye managed to drive out a real live Renan lord. That's incredible. And he seems to have a lot of supporters surrounding him too. But he's got an attitude worse than any angry Zoogle. Plus, Niaz is in utter ruins. I don't have a clue what his game is.
The Renans are powerful. And because of that, it takes a strong leader to have any hope of toppling them. However, when you take down one dictator only to replace them with another, ultimately it's just business as usual.
If it'd been Zephyr instead of Deadeye, I don't think things would have turned out like this.
Rinwell.
Yeah, I think so too. Zephyr did things differently top to bottom. He's not the kind of person who would have forced his own views or decisions on other people. When you do that, you're ruling over others, not leading them.
To be honest, I don't know what I would have wanted my dad to do if he was in that position.
Law.
The whole thing feels weird in a way. It's a weird kind of feeling, but at the same time, part of me also feels happy. Deadeye and my dad are two very different men. For now, I'm content knowing that.
The city is liberated, and yet the air still hums with fear and anxiety. It reminds me all too well of how Vicente once was.
Hums? You mean like music?
Yeah, none of this sounds like music to my ears. In fact, I've never seen any Danans with musical instruments in my life.
You don't need instruments to play music. It can emerge naturally from the sounds of people going about their day and the hustle and bustle of life.
You seem to care a lot about music, Dohalim. I didn't know that about you.
Have I not mentioned it? Before I was a candidate for the lordship, I had my heart set on the life of a musician.
You? A musician?
Indeed, music enriches the world around us. I trained day and night to hone my art. Words could not describe my bliss, as my notes carried with them the sights and sounds of nature, the ebb and flow of time, and the thoughts of people on the wind.
Dohalim.
Forgive me. My loquaciousness can get the best of me at times.
Don't apologize. It's interesting hearing what Renan culture is like.
Even though the Renans destroyed all of our arts and culture.
Personally, I was interested in the music of Dana as well. The fact that generations of lords deemed music to be of no use to their slaves and outright forbade the ownership of instruments is lamentable. Not that my words can undo the damage already done.
This game continually surprises me, and I like it. So, what it feels like this part of the story is going to be about is Danans are not necessarily quote-unquote the good guys. Up until now, the whole story has been the fact that the Renans are evil and the Danans are the oppressed, and they're just fighting to win freedom, right? But we've seen some shady parts here and there of what the Danans can be. For example, when they were like in the snowy zone, where they were like betraying each other at the drop of a hat to quote unquote survive, right? Like, Danans aren't necessarily good. And now we're seeing a situation where not only are they not necessarily good, but it looks like this Deadime guy is essentially as bad as any Renan Lord could be, which is intriguing to me, at least. So, yeah, that's definitely something to consider. The other thing is, remember how I was commenting earlier about how Rinwell has all this pent-up animosity that she's not gotten over, even though she's traveled with Shione all this time? This would be a wonderful place for her to realize and recognize that she is behaving that well when she sees Deadime behaving the way he is. And maybe it'll help her grow some, which would be great, because she could definitely use some character progression. So, very interesting. Why does everybody have to be such cowards? If we don't get this taken care of, things are never going to change.
What's wrong?
What's got you down, friend? Snoogles, that's what. A pretty common variety of them, to be more specific. Rumors say it was the Lord's favorite kind of Zoogle, so people are afraid to go anywhere near them.
All right.
I can understand their hesitation. If you need them gone, we're more than capable of taking care of them for you.
What the?
Hold on, pal. I don't want you to just exterminate them. If you could bring back any usable materials from them, that'd be great too. You want us to retrieve Zoogle parts? For what? Are you building something? Not building, studying. If I can demonstrate that even fearsome, dangerous Zoogles can be used to make handy tools, that'll motivate people to hunt them more. We can't always expect folks like you to come and solve all our problems for us, after all. So you're trying to be more self-sufficient. That's very commendable of you.
Hey.
Actually, about those materials you're looking for, this isn't what you're talking about, is it?
Yeah!
Oh yeah, it totally is. Could I convince you to share what you have with me? Hand over 3 demi-human muscles? Sure.
Good.
Yeah, go ahead and help yourself. I'd rather it go to someone who can use it than it keep weighing us down. Great, you're one generous bunch of people, you know that? Now to see just what I can turn all of this into.
All right!
I'm sure I'll be able to make something useful. Thank you so much. Yay, I did a reward and did nothing. Alphen, mi amigo. I knew fate would bring us together once more.
Well...
Remind me, you're that wonder guy, is it? I am a minstrel who tells many a tale about this fleeting world in which we live. They call me the Wonder Bard. Right, you. I remember you.
I see.
I believe we haven't had the pleasure, sir. You may call me Dohalim. You claim to be a minstrel. Is that to say you're well-versed in music? Oh, but I am indeed. There isn't a song I haven't sung, nor an instrument my hands have not mastered. I see. As it so happens, I am also a connoisseur of music myself. Is that so? Could I perhaps trouble you with a little rendition, kind sir? This is going to take a while, isn't it? Alas, unfortunately, I do not have any instruments on me, but I would be more than happy to indulge you with a short poem. In this sea of crimson trees, I spy an unknown fellow, standing free within the breeze. Oh, Dana mio! Your words are like music to my ears. You have quite the rare talent, sir, I must say. You really think so? That I do, and now I must return the favor in kind. Where do I begin, faced with such wit? Indeed, words fail me. I am at a loss, for what can I say but gracias?
Oh.
Aho! You, sir, have thrown down the gauntlet. Allow me to.
Just great.
I can't take any more of this. We're leaving, Dohalim. You're welcome to catch up with us later.
Excuse me!
Wait, don't leave yet. With so many brilliant minds amongst you, perhaps I can entrust you all with the legendary instrument? What are you talking about? I hid a musical instrument knowing that one day I would meet a worthy inheritor. You'll find it at the location detailed in these notes. But be warned, only the smartest shall solve the riddles contained within. Now I ask you, O chosen ones, will you take it upon yourselves to solve the riddles and uncover the legendary instrument? I don't want to, but okay, sure. This talks of riddles and instruments has me most intrigued.
Good.
Very well, we accept your challenge. Excellent. I have complete faith that you shall emerge victorious. Just beyond the hovels in a land shrouded by sand and stone. The northmost reaches of a wasteland to the north of an abandoned village. It lies dormant at the back of a narrow road to the west whereupon an ancient tower stands. Oh boy. I sure wish there was more to go around.
Oh, yeah?
What are you talking about? Our rations. We're always running short on them. It's never enough to be comfortable. We could really do with some rice, potatoes, beef, and some spices in particular. We have what you need.
How's this?
If that's what you need, we've got some right here. Is this enough? Whoa, you're so generous. Thank you. Yes, that'd help a lot. I don't have much to offer in return, but I'll teach you my family's secret recipe if you like. Curry recipe. Yummy.
Great!
Ooh, this sounds delicious.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to try it. Doesn't look all that hard to fix either.
Hey.
Hey, Kisara, if it's really that simple, would you teach me how to cook it? Wow, you're actually interested in making food now, not just eating it? What does it matter to you? I'd just like to put a certain someone in his place for complaining about my cooking earlier.
Good.
Haha, well, I'd love to teach you, but my training isn't going to be easy. Think you're ready?
Really?
It's that serious? Sure, I guess. Hit me with what you've got. But promise me you won't tell anyone else I asked this, okay? My lips are sealed, but in return, you have to call me Captain while we're training. Deal?
What?
What? Okay, Captain. You're supposed to say yes, Captain.
Yes.
Yes, Captain.
All right.
Now we can begin your training.
Right.
I see you have some freshly caught fish here. Perfect, we'll use that as well.
Really?
What? But the recipe doesn't call for fish.
What?
Are you trying to talk back to your superior? No, ma'am. You're supposed to say yes, Captain.
Huh?
What? Wait, this is the new... This is a whole other quest? Oh, wow, okay.
All right.
Good. It looks like you have everything we need. Now we dive into the culinary trenches.
Yes.
Yes, Captain.
Over there.
Is that how you hold a knife? What are you trying to do, Private? Dance with it?
Huh?
No, of course. You're supposed to say yes, Captain.
Yes.
Yes, Captain.
All right.
Pay attention. Turn up that fire. Boil that water. You don't have time to let your eyes wander.
Yes.
Yes, Captain. It's all finished.
Huh.
So it is. Its flavor and presentation get a passing grade. You've got promise, but there's still room for improvement. You'll have to keep training every day. Do I make myself clear?
All right.
Yes, Captain. Guess I've got a long way to go before my food is perfect. But I'll show him. One day, my food will taste so good, it'll knock his armor off. I don't remember Alphen ever complaining about her. Oh.
By the by, Shion, if you don't mind my asking, would you be willing to share what sort of clothes are currently in fashion on Rena sometime?
Sure. As long as you call me Captain.
Sir, yes, sir, Captain Shion.
I was just joking. Kinda has a nice ring to it, though.
I remember now. All the way back when they very beginning when they first taught us cooking, right? You remember how she gave him the food and he was like, "Yeah, it's great, except for the fact that it like doesn't have any flavor at all, because like he only likes spicy stuff." She's still upset about that. All the way at the very beginning of the game. Oh man. It's so long ago I completely forgot about it. It's great, I love it.
That Deadeye creep certainly has a few screws loose, that's for sure.
Forget that guy. Right now, we need to discuss how we're going to proceed.
What's there to discuss? Deadeye and his crew have already brought down the Lord here. Just let them finish her off.
I want to go after her.
I second that. I think it's the best thing to do right now. We don't know if the Darkwings have what it takes to beat her. I'm worried what'll happen if we leave her to her own devices.
You make a good point, Rinwell. And maybe I'm just being overconfident, but between us and them, I think we have a better chance at defeating her.
I have to agree. This realm isn't going to be truly safe as long as that Lord is still running around out there. We need to act.
Fine by me. But isn't Deadeye just gonna take all the credit once we're done?
Our job is to break down the walls that oppress Dana. What he chooses to build in their place, that's his problem. For now, we'll head to this Estaluva forest Bayfon told us about. Whatever we decide to do, though, we should take some time to rest first. We've barely stopped since Menancia. Where are you going?
Alphen.
You should get some rest. What's got you up at this hour?
Just let me be for a minute, okay? Why don't you go back to the inn?
I will when you do.
Have it your way.
Shion. The Lord's days are numbered. I haven't forgotten our promise. You can trust me, you know. Maybe even lean on me a little. If you want.
And if I say I will you finally give it a rest?
Yeah, of course. Try to get some rest, okay?
What was all that about?
So we're just going to check things out, right? In whatever that forest is called.
Estaluva Forest. Next time, pay attention.
So maybe it's just me, but I'm getting this suspicion that maybe Shion's on a timer and she didn't tell us about it. Because it seems like there's something going on with her, and particularly her thorns. And also, those two are so freaking cute together. I mean, they're not like... Okay, well, I'm just gonna say, like, in general, as I've said before, like, when they do canon pairings and stories, it doesn't always work well, but it's really working well in this game.
Got sand in my eyes!
The winds are strong here. Mind yourselves.
Ugh, even the inside of my mouth is all sandy.
Poodle, don't get blown away, okay?
The winds outside the capital are blowing as strongly as ever.
You can definitely see why people call this place the Valley of the Four Winds.
Indeed, Mahag Sar is the realm of wind, just as Ganeth Heros is for water.
Earth, water, fire, wind, light, and darkness. Rena is aligned to darkness, leaving each realm one element each.
Is that because some elements are easier to gather in certain areas than others?
That is certainly possible. But I suspect the biggest reason is to prevent the Lords from squabbling over resources.
Funny. You would think infighting would come naturally to an elite class vying for a crown.
True, but the Renans rule as a minority. Fighting ourselves would just be destructive. Though, as you saw in Menancia, any abstention from fighting is merely a facade.
In the end, you all get usurped whether you like it or not.
That may be true, but something tells me that this time is different.
We have to catch up to the Lord first if we want answers. Let's keep moving.
What is that ring of rocks over there for? They don't look like they formed naturally to me.
Oh yeah. Funny, I guess I've gotten used to weird rock formations. They didn't even register as being out of the ordinary.
Most likely, they were brought over by us Renans when we first invaded the planet.
Wait, those? So does that mean there's some kind of machine then? And if so, what in the world were they even used for?
To manipulate the properties of Dana's astral energy.
Really?
Think about it. Isn't it strange that the type of energy each realm collects is so fixed? Astral energy by nature isn't meant to skew towards one element or another so heavily.
So the Renans reformed it for the crown contest.
Sounds like the crazy thing a Renan would do.
Renans these days are more advanced than Danans in some ways, but even they don't seem capable of doing something on that grand a scale. Or is that something that's possible on Lenegis? Or maybe the Renan homeworld?
I can't claim to know everything about my own kind, but I myself have never seen anything that would be capable of such a drastic feat.
But at some point they did just that. Those are the sort of people we're up against. We should do our best not to forget that.
You're so amazing, Kisara. You can cook, you can fix weapons. I feel like there's practically nothing you can't do.
Maybe you should take a page out of her book and learn to make yourself more useful then.
I'd be happy to teach you if you want, Rinwell. I learned most everything I know from my brother.
Really? Even how to sew and do laundry?
Yes, indeed. He knew how to do anything.
Sounds like he was a pretty handy guy when he was alive.
He was. I'd always follow him around and badger him with questions. I was a real pain in the neck. Now that I think about it, he and Legil were the ones who taught me how to raise cats, too.
Legil is that woman who was with him in the Gold Dust Cats, right? I remember now. The one with the really pretty hair.
Funny you mention that. He also taught me how to maintain my hair. Not that those lessons stopped it from getting all tangled up during training.
I think it still looks gorgeous.
From what I can tell, it would appear as though the only thing he didn't manage to teach you was how to apply makeup.
No, but that didn't stop him from trying. He really wanted to teach me everything. Only reason he couldn't was because I prioritized my training.
And here I was trying to make a joke.
I can't tell if she's being serious. The only one here who knows him well enough was her.
Yeah, I guess only Miguel could have told us if it's actually true.
I felt kind of tactless to be like, he seemed like a great guy when he was alive. Like, you could have phrased that differently. You could have been like, he seemed like a great guy to have around while growing up. But no, we gotta go for when he was alive. Oh boy, foodie time. Oh, it's that foodie again.
Yes!
I remember you. You're the young woman who's always starving. I haven't seen you since we last met in Elderman and Sia. You're the one who's always hungry. Anyway, I take it you found another recipe on your travels?
Very nice.
I most certainly did. I'm glad I can cut to the chase then.
Is that so?
Shione, who might this fellow be? This is Gordino. He travels around Dana in search of new recipes to try.
You don't say.
A fine quest to embark on, if I do say so myself. My name is Dohalim, kind sir. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
How?
Wow, the Dohalim, Lord of Elden and Sia? It's an honor, my lord. Your beef stew was absolutely exquisite.
I see.
You honor me, kind sir. However, how is it that you came by the palace's top secret dish?
Hey!
Anyway, what is it you need from us this time exactly? Come on, spit it out. Right. This time I'm looking for lettuce, apples, and lemons. Could I ask you to bring those to me?
Sure.
If that's all you're looking for, we've got it right here.
Nice work.
In that case, I'll give you the recipe so you fine people can cook it right away.
Oh?
Wow, this looks surprisingly simple. Even I have a chance with this.
Very nice.
Wonderful. I'll leave the preparation up to you then.
Well?
Okay, it's all done.
Yes.
Oh, look at the beautiful dish. It smells just as divine too. Now to see how it tastes.
What?
Whoa, this is absolutely exquisite. Exquisitely bad, that is.
What?
Really? I assure you that I followed the recipe for this so-called vitamin smoothie to the letter. Taste it for yourself then, and then tell me if you're still confident in the concoction. Here. Alright, down the hatch it goes.
I
Ugh.
don't believe this.
See what I mean? It makes you want to vomit, doesn't it?
All right.
Wait a second. I see a small warning affixed to the bottom of this recipe. Smoothies made entirely from veggies are recommended for experienced dieters only. Beginners should add fruit juice for flavor.
No.
Young miss, did you process only the lettuce? Even though I asked you to prepare apples and lemons as well?
Sure.
Oh, come on. Who's going to notice a stupid warning label that tiny?
Really now.
Lesson learned, Shione. Well, we'll just have to add fruit and attempt this once more. How bad can you be at cooking, honestly?
Yes.
Very well. Let's take it from the top.
What?
Whoa, this is absolutely exquisite. Comparatively speaking, at least.
What?
You still don't sound all that enthused. Is this recipe the best recipe that Mahag Sar has to offer? I believe so. When I first heard about this, it made me think of what I saw in Menancia. That combination of fruits and vegetables, it reminded me of Danins and Renans living together. I thought this recipe might capture such harmony.
Very nice.
If nothing else, it's the most healthy recipe you're sure to find out here. Indeed. I shall be sure to drink it, so as to ensure that precious harmony lives on, even within the confines of my stomach.
Yes.
Whew. Well, that was satisfying enough for the time being. I can now leave this realm with no regrets. It's time I leave in search of even greater cuisines. Farewell, my culinary comrades. Actually, one more glass before I leave.
Well, that was a huge miscalculation.
Yet you've drained your glass all the same.